Good morning, guys. This is Miss Shaima. Thank you so much for joining in. And before we begin our lesson, I would like to take a moment to say thank you to all the parents who are supporting our remote learning. We just finished our first week, and this is our second weeks. And so far, the feedbacks we are getting, thank you so much for the positive feedbacks. And let's take a moment, children, to say thank you to our parents and loved ones, our friends and families and neighbors, and appreciate everything we have. Okay, so today we are going to begin in Module 4, Lesson 10. The objective of this lesson is model decompositions of 6 through 8 using linking cube sticks to see patterns. So, in other words, we are going to make numbers 6, 7, and 8 and see if there is some sort of pattern when we make it. In previous lessons, we've been making 6 on its own, 7, and then 8. But today we're going to combine all three and see if there are any patterns to watch out for. The materials you'll be needing for these lessons are loose leaf papers, something to write with, your math book, your number one chart, and something around the house, toys, bottle caps, pennies, crayons. I have seen students use buttons, cotton balls, whatever it is that you choose to use. Just make sure you have about 8 pieces so we can make 6, 7, 8 using those materials. So this is the application problem. At this time, since you already gathered your materials, please put the materials aside because this is something we're doing together and you do not need your materials. We will follow along, okay? So the application problem goes that I have a tower of 6 cubes. Again, I have a tower of 6 cubes. I will break it apart and you have to figure out which parts I have and which parts I do not. Again, I have a tower of 6 cubes, right? When I break it, I will show you the part I have and you have to figure out which part I do not have. So let's get started. So I broke my cube apart and looks like I have, this is the first part, right? So let's count how many cubes I have in my first part. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have 4 cubes. So I started off with 6 and from there I broke it apart and I only have 4 parts. Which part am I missing? So let's look back again to the 6 cubes. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like I'm gonna use my pen to show you. Okay, I have up to here. I have 4 cubes, which are the same, which means I'm missing 1, 2. So that means the missing part has to be 2. So let's go and see if it's really 2 or a different number. Very good. I have 1, 2. I have 2 and 4 gives me 6. Now let's try the same thing with this time. Instead of 6 cubes, I have 7 cubes. So I started off with 7 cubes. I want to count to make sure that we actually have 7 cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I labeled it so it makes it easy for us. So I have a tower of 7 cubes and I broke it apart. I ended up with 1, 2, 3 on my first part. How many? I ended up with 3. So let's see. I ended up with 3, which is about right here. 1, 2, 3. Which part am I missing, or how many am I missing? Please pause the video at this time and count to see which part am I missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. I'm missing 4. So let's see if there is really 4 on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. I'm missing 4. So I know 4 and 3 makes a total of 7. Now, let's see the lesson. At this time, please bring your materials and make sure you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a tower of 5. You might not have a snap cube. This is why I said to bring something of, whether it's bottle caps, whether it's beans, whether it's pennies, and make sure you have your loose leaf paper next to you, and that will help you to see if there is a pattern or not. So I have a tower of 6. Correction, I'm sorry. I have a tower of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a tower of 5. And I added one more. So please, at this time, take out your hands and take out your fingers to show me you have 5. So I'm going to count my hand and my fingers. I have 2 hands, and I'm going to count 5 fingers in one hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for the next hand, I have only one more. So we don't have to go back to counting from 1 again, because we already know one hand has 5 fingers. So I'm just going to count on 5 and 6. So at this time, I have 6 cubes. So I'm going to take this cube and put it on the other side. So please pay attention. Now you are going to have 6 crayons or 6 beans or anything of that, 6 of them. So now take one of those objects and put it on the other side. So what you are left with is 1 and 5. So now let's put it together again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have a total of 6, but once I cut it in pieces, then it became a tower of 5 and a tower of 1. So my number sentence, again, my number sentence is going to be 6 equals 1 plus 5. One more time, 6 equals 1 plus 5. In our previous lesson, we used to say 6 is 5 and 1. So from future video, from now on, we will change between those two. Sometimes we are going to use words, sometimes we are going to use symbols. So instead of saying 6 is 5 and 1, we will say 6 equals 1 plus 5. So let's try one more together. Now I have a tower of 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, I started off with 6, right? I decided to put 4 here, and then I decided to move 1 right here from the first one. Now I'm going to decide to put 2 up here and 4 up here. So let's count to see if we have total of 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the number sentence looks like 6 equals 2 plus 4. Again, 6 equals 2 plus 4. So we know 5 plus 1 gives us 6. 2 plus 4 gives us 6. Let's look at the next snap cubes. Now I have 1, 2, 3 cubes, right? How many do you think I'll have it in this side? Let's take a look. I also have 3. So 1, 2, 3. So we already know that our whole is 6. What do you think the number sentence is going to be? At this time, you can pause the video and come up with the 2 parts that are missing. We already know that we have a total of 6 when we add these two, or when we put these 2 snap cubes together, we will have 6. What's another way to make 6? Excellent. So I know 6 equals 3 plus 3. Why? Because we have 2 parts. I have 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. This 3 goes up here, and this 3 goes up here. One more time. 6 equals 3 plus 3. So far, are you guys seeing a pattern the way I'm seeing it? So if you guys see it, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, it's okay because we have a few more snap cubes to go, and then let's see if we can find a pattern. So the next one is 2. I started off with 3. Now I have 2 up here, and then let's see how many I have here. Again, our whole for this entire snap cube, this portion, this slide is going to be 6, right? So we started off with 2, and then we added over here how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 2 and 4. So the number sentence that goes with it is 6 equals 4 plus 2. 6, which is the whole, when we put it together, we have a set of 4, a set of 2. So now at the end we have 1, which means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 1 up here, as you can see, I'll note right here. We know 1 and 5 makes it 6. So does 5 and 1 make it 6? Let's count to find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we do know that 6 equals 5 plus 1. At this time, please pause the video and try to figure out if you can see a pattern. So the pattern that I'm noticing is it doesn't matter where I place the number, whether it's 1 plus 5 or 5 plus 1. The whole, it stays the same, right? 6, since 6 is the whole thing, right? We know that all the snap cubes, when we do put it together, it becomes 6. This is just a different ways of making 6. Right? So you can see 2 plus 4 gives us 6, but also 4 plus 2 gives us 6. And 5 plus 1 gives us 6, which is same as saying 1 plus 5. Another thing you will notice, the number of blocks on this side. Let me switch the pen so it's easier to understand. Look at the snap cubes on this side. It is going down by 1. At the end, we're left with only 1 cubes. But if you look at on the left side, it's going to you will see the cubes are going up by 1 cube. Have you guys seen the pattern? Give me a thumbs up if you see a pattern. And if you do not, you can pause and rewind it like about 20 seconds or maybe 30 seconds or so, where I explain and how does the pattern work. So the next slide is going to have the same thing. I just want you to pay attention at this time. If you want to work with your cubes or your buttons or any supplies you have, you can. If not, I need you to pay very close attention to the slide. So this time we're working with a different number. We're not working with 6. We're working with 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I add 6 and 1, right? Which gives us 7. And I decide to break my cube apart and put the 1 here. So the number sentence that goes with this line is 7 equals 6 plus 1. Again, 7, which is the total number of our cubes, right? This whole line, I only have 7 cubes, right? 7 equals, I have 6 cubes here and 1 cube here. So that's why the number sentence reads 7 equals 6 plus 1. Just like the last slide, the numbers are going up by 1 cube. So I have 1, 2, 3 cubes here, and the numbers are going down from this side. So I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if you look at this slide, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know this 5 goes with the cubes up here. And this 2 goes with the cubes up here. So I know we have the total of 7 cubes altogether. And 7 equals 5 plus 2. Let's keep going down over here. 7 equals 4 plus 3. One more time. 7 equals 3 plus 4. 7 equals 2 plus 5. Again, the 5 cubes from here and 2 cubes from here gives us a total of 7. And the last one, 7 equals 1 plus 6. So you can see that even though in addition, when we add, right, this is the plus sign. When we add, it doesn't matter where we putting our parts, whether we put 1 here or 1 here. We can change it. 7 equals 1 plus 6 or 6 plus 1. It does not matter because the whole stays the same. Let's try it here. 7 equals 2 plus 5. What if I were to say I want to change it to 5 plus 2? Have you guys seen the pattern? The pattern for this side is you're adding by 1 cube, right? And the pattern over here is the numbers are going down. And if you are not doing it with the cubes, let's look at the pattern with the number sentence itself. You have 7 equals 7 equals 6 plus 1. Then you have 7 equals 5 plus 2. Even with the numbers, you can see over here the numbers are going down, which is the part, right? Just like the cubes are going over here, the numbers are going down. And then on this side, which is the other part, the numbers are going up by 1 cube, just like the cubes up here, right? One side is going down, one side is going up. Now, at this time, I want you to try it by yourself. Take out 8 objects that you have in front of you, right? Take out 8 objects that's in front of you. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Please take out 7 of them and put it in one side. Excellent work, guys. Now, you are going to put 1 more next to it. So you know that you have 7 and 1. At this time, please take out your hands and make 7 fingers and then add 1 more. So you know 7 and 1 gives you a total of 8. I'm going to take this one and put it on the other side. So I know my whole is 8 equals 1 plus 7. Just like the other 2 slides, as you can notice, the numbers of cubes are going down over here, and the numbers of cubes on this side is going up. But one thing that is consistent, one thing that is constant, which means it stays the same, right? It doesn't matter what numbers you're putting together, but one thing stays the same, which is the whole, which is 8. 8 equals 1 plus 7, just like right here. 8 equals 2 plus 6, just like right here. 8 equals 3 plus 5. 8 equals 4 plus 4. 8 equals 5 plus 3. 8 equals 6 plus 2. 8 equals 7 plus 1. Please raise your hand to tell me, what do you think the pattern is? Excellent work, Chase. Good job at noticing the pattern. You told me that the pattern is one of the part is going up, right? Just like the cube, and the other part is going down, just like this side. At this time, you can see how many ways we can make 8. Just like the way we made 7, just like the way we made 6. So this is basically us telling you that the last 3 lessons we have done, we did it separately. Now we decided to put all 3 together to show you multiple ways to make 6, 7, and the number 8. At this time, please take out your math book and something to write with. Parents, remember, you are only submitting problem set and nothing else. Just the problem set if you have the math book. If you do not have the math book, the next slide is for you. Remember, please make sure when you open up the book, your top right here matches, right? So the first thing first, kids, what do? We put our name. So I'm going to write my name. And I'm going to put the date. And I have no idea what date is today. So let's look at my phone to see what date. So today, by the time you see it, it will be 3-30-2020. Over here, it says color some of the faces orange and rest of them blue. Fill in the number bonds. So if you do not have crayon, that's okay. You can shade them gray and leave some blank. If you do not have orange and blue crayon, you can choose any crayon you like. I have red and blue, so I'm going to choose red and blue. And we know that multiple ways, we know how many ways we can make number 6. So at this time, please choose to color some of the face orange and some of the faces blue. So I'm going to choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want 5 faces to be blue and only 1 face red. So let's count together to see how many faces do we have all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know I have total of 6 faces. So I'm going to write down 6 on my whole. So how many faces now are blue? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 faces that are blue, and I only have 1 face that's red. So I'm going to write down. So the way the number sentence works, well, the sentence works is 6 is 5 and 1. Now I have to check my work, right? I want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. I will be checking my work. So let me label it again to make sure I'm doing this correct. All right, I'm going to draw my hand. I'm drawing my hand. At this time, please take out your fingers to make sure you're getting your numbers correctly. So I have 5 and 1, so I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and only 1 finger on the other. Let me change the color of my pen to make sure you guys can see the difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is correct. 6 is 5 and 1. Excellent work. So like I said, if you do not have an orange or blue crayon, it's okay. You can shade some of them with your pencils. You can use any color crayons you want if you have it. Let's go to the next one. This is the problem set alternative, which means if you do not have the math book, you can copy this on your notebook or your loose leaf paper, and it's going to count as your problem set. It says this represents, the square represents, I'm sorry guys, the squares below represent cubes. Color 7 cubes green and 1 blue. So they already told you how many to color. So I'm going to make sure I read my direction carefully. So it says I have to color 7 blue. 7 green. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it said I have to color 1 blue. So I'm just going to put a line across. In math, we do not have to color all the way. So let's count to make sure what is the whole. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have a total, which is my whole, is 8 cubes. And I already know the two parts, which is 7 and 1. So I have 7 green and 1 blue. So let's fill out the number sentence up here. So I know 8 is 7 and 1. So I'm going to draw my hands to make sure it's the correct answer. So Miss Shaima made a mistake and she put 6 in one finger. So I'm going to take the yellow to pretend that this is erased. Okay, we only have 5 fingers in one hand. So let's count. I have 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Then I have to color 1. Now let's count everything all together to make sure it's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excellent work, guys. So I know for sure 7 and 1 gives me 8. These two, this one and this one, please make sure you do it by yourself. Who remembers what did Miss Shaima forget to do in this page? It's very important. Gabriel, why don't you tell me what I missed? Excellent work, Gabriel. I missed my name and the date. So please, guys, do not forget to write your name and date. So 3-30-2020. Last but not least is my shout out. When I say young geniuses, you will say "Ow!" loud and proud. So young geniuses. Can't hear you. You gotta get louder. Young geniuses. The two beautiful young geniuses I'm doing my shout outs today is One is Crystal. I love that she's doing her math, and look at how concentrated. She's trying to concentrate on her math work. And my second genius is Nicholas. So I love that he's so happy and he's doing his math work. I missed you guys, Miss G and Miss Maynard. All of us miss you guys, your faces, your beautiful smiles. Please be safe and wash your hands. And do not forget to do I Ready for 30 minutes for ELA and 30 minutes for math, okay? And tell your mommies and daddies and family members that once you finish your work to send us a photo, okay? And don't forget to check out Baba O's, Mr. Roger, Miss Shannon, Miss Nzinga's videos. And their channels are going to be linked in the description box. So check it out. Tell them that Miss Shaima has sent you and so show them some love, okay? Bye.